Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
The Rock Review is thrilled to have on country music star, award-winning artist, singer, songwriter, guitarist, and radio show host, Terri Clark. Thanks for coming on the show, Terri.
Thanks for having me, Eric. Hope you're doing well today.
Doing awesome, and you got a brand new album, and I've been listening to it. I feel like it's prepping me for the holidays already. It's Christmas. Cheers.
Yeah, well, you know what? Christmas is about cheers. I tend to imbibe in a few cheers myself. How about you?
Definitely. Well, and I make homemade wine, so I give out cheers also.
Ooh, that's nice. It's good to be your friend.
Well, you know what? And speaking of which, listening to this album, it's been 2 years in the making and 15 years since you've had a release on Mercury. But you've got, I wish you could have got some more talented friends on this album, Terri.
I was really lucky. This album sort of evolved on its own very, very organically. I started it, almost 2 years prior to it coming out. And I got so busy touring during that summer, I started in the spring, that I had to put everything on hold. So I had all these tracks and I was able to live with it through the entire summer and listen. And I'd hear a song and I'd be like, well, this person might sound good on that one or that person. Well, so, it doesn't hurt to ask. And I've been so fortunate in my career that anyone I've collaborated with and asked, they've all pretty much said yes to me. And I've been so fortunate. And some of the guests on this album are just incredible.
Well, I've got to speak to a few of them, where you've got Ricky Skaggs, Dierks Bentley, Vince Gill, and also the lady that you do Chicks with Hits, Pam Tillis, and Susie Boggess.
Yes, Ricky Skaggs was a huge influence on me, and my manager brought up the idea of doing a Christmas record. He said, it's time. Your career is now, 25 years old and you don't have a Christmas album. And I said, but there are so many great Christmas albums out there. There's so many people have just made great Christmas music. And what am I going to contribute that isn't already in the marketplace? It was my big, that was kind of my big thing. I wanted to do it right. And to me, you've got to get the feel and the sound of Christmas somehow musically. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to go in and record Christmas music with the same band I cut my mainstream albums with. I wanted to do something a little bit fresh. So I asked the Time Jumpers to play on the whole thing. And for those of you who are music nerds and fans like Eric, I can see that you know who they are. Yes. They're kind of a local band in Nashville, but not really. Everything is upright bass and it sounds like it came straight out of 1950. So they have a classic sound, and Christmas music should sound classic. So their arrangements were incredible. And then as I'm listening to the tracks, I started thinking, well, Vince Gill is a member of the Time Jumpers. I've worked with him before. So I texted Vince, and Vince does not text, he calls. So I texted him about singing on this Christmas record, and this is a funny story. He doesn't know this yet, but I was in the bathtub. He calls me as soon as he gets my text. I'm like, I gotta pick up the phone. It's Vince Gill.
Yeah,
so it's a little awkward talking about it, but he didn't know.
You know what? Once again, and I told you this before we started the interview, to where the vocal pairings and everything on this are so great, and particularly like with you and Dierks Bentley, and also another one that blew my mind besides the Time Jumpers playing under every one of the songs was you with the Oak Ridge Boys.
Yes, the Oak Ridge Boys, I've interviewed them for my radio show, Country Gold, and they're professional Christmas record makers. Like, they sing on people's Christmas records. They sang on a Dionne Warwick, of all people, Christmas song. Mm-hmm. And they're on volume 7 or 8,000 or something like that of their own Christmas series, I call it, albums. And they're just the nicest guys. I just adore them. And when I was interviewing them, I didn't ask them on the spot, but they were talking about Christmas music, and I thought, I've got to get these guys on the album. So I got in touch with Joe, and he talked to the guys, and they said, absolutely, what song do you want us to do? And I could just hear them doing the Silver Bells answers, and they sound just like this gospel quartet back there, like the Oak Ridge Boys. It's obviously the Oak Ridge Boys on Silver Bells. So it just turned out great. And you mentioned Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
He and I have worked together in the past, as Vince and I have. And he came and sang on an album that I put out in 2012 called Classic. It's all big country covers. Like, It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels and 2 More Bottles of Wine. And he sang on Golden Ring. He sang with the George Jones Tammy Wynette hit with me. And then not long ago, just several months ago, Dirks had a band called Hot Country Nights, and he was Doug Douglason, the lead singer, in the mullet and the glasses and everything. They made a whole record, and there was a song that they wanted a duet partner on for Doug called You Make It Hard. And so I went and sang on that. Yeah. I did the duet with him on that, and we shot a video, which is a very tongue-in-cheek. It's I don't know how I got through that without peeing my pants laughing, but it was really fun. So Dirks and I worked together. And right after I did that, I thought, well, after all of that, he owes me, so I'm calling him to sing on the Christmas record. And he did. Like, time to return the favor.
Yeah, but I think that's what's so great is that you've really made all these songs your own, and for our viewers, obviously you're so well known in country music from your hit songs, from all your millions of albums you've sold, and also your radio show. But some people don't know that you come from a musical family, being raised in Medicine Hat and everything, and to where even your grandparents played, right?
My grandparents supported 5 kids playing in clubs around the Montreal area, and it was always country music. And my grandpa played fiddle. Actually, he got up on the Opry with me when he was 88 and played fiddle, and that was an amazing moment. But yeah, my grandmother played bass and sang, and they even made some records. I have some recordings of theirs, but they never kind of took it to the next level by going to Nashville and really trying to make it on an international level. They kept it local, but that gene was definitely passed down to me. And my mom taught me my first 3 chords, and I was self-taught on the guitar pretty much after that. And I would watch Ricky, speaking of Ricky Skaggs, on TV, and I'd follow his fingers and try and emulate what he was doing, and played along with his records and all of my heroes of that time. That I would just sit in my bedroom for hours and hours learning their songs and learning how to play them on guitar and sing. And they were great teachers. So it's nice to have Ricky Skaggs on this Christmas album too, because he's one of my professors for sure, whether he knew it or not.
I think I told you before we started the interview, even the last time I had Pam Tillis on, she was bragging about you and how much fun she has doing the tour Chicks with Hits, which you're a part of that as well. I'm hoping that you guys can get back out on the road with that in 2021 also.
Your lips to God's ears, Eric. We are hoping to. Like, we know that it's probably going to be March at the earliest, but I hope it's March at the latest too. So I just want to get out there. And those 2 women have become so much like big sisters to me, and we have a ball, and we laugh with and at each other all the time, and drink a little wine along the way. And the camaraderie is just wonderful. And the show musically is just so much fun. I love singing harmony on their songs. Like when I was selling boots and working in a boot store in Nashville, they were all over the radio because they started out having their success a little bit earlier than I did. So I was still trying to get there, and they were huge. And Pam maybe it was Memphis and Susie's songs. Mm-hmm. So I've been singing harmony to these songs for a really long time, and it's surreal. It's still, after we've probably done 100 shows together now, it's still surreal sitting up there between them and getting to sing and hear them sing them live. It's like I got the best ticket in the house. It's just wonderful.
Well, it sounds so natural with your voices too, with the harmonies and everything. But I want to make sure for our viewers, it's like, where's the best place to go for the website, social media, and everything? You got the brand new Christmas album. It's Christmas. Cheers. And of course, your regular radio show, which is incredible with Country Gold. Where should our viewers go, Terri?
TerriClark.com. That's Terri with an I. Clark.com. And I also have Instagram is Terri Clark Music, at Terri Clark Music. And I have a Facebook page. That's easy to find too. But just make sure everything you get has a blue check mark or you're going to get scammers. But that's the best way to find it. We've got links everywhere to download the album and get the album, get physical copies, and there'll be copies in stores because luckily, my old label, Mercury Records, took this project on, and they're releasing it, which was just amazing to me. What a gift! So I'm working with under the Universal umbrella again, and it's just a wonderful thing. So it'll be in stores. They're going into all kinds of different outlets, so you're going to see it out there. And I'm so excited that people are listening to me while they're decorating their tree. I'm always listening to everybody else while I'm decorating my tree. So this is great. And when I started this album, I wanted it to have a bit of a Vince Guaraldi flavor, and the Time Jumpers added that element to it, I think. So I hope you guys all like it.
The musicianship and the voices and everything, and I love the cover with you lounging, you know, on a couch, and it's like it's such a fun album. All the songs, I mean, I think you're going to get so much play off of this. So many people buying this album to enjoy it. I know I have. Terri Clark, thanks for coming on the Rock and Review, and congrats on the new album also.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.